This collaboration platform, we found out a few months ago that this was a big priority and something we wanted to upscale really rapidly. And so really simple opportunity for private conversations as well as conversations between the TCTACs and private messaging, as well as like identifying exactly where different folks sat in different organizations. So there were a lot of criteria that we had, and we're really excited to show you what we've come up with. And uh, what Aisha will be showing you also is like for the last 2 weeks, we've really been spending time uploading a lot of content so that the regional centers or the partners don't need to do that. So that will also already have a lot of information about each of the organizations and their expertise. And we want to make that even more complete so that you walk in, it's like a home that's furnished, and all you have to do is like sleep in the bed and sit on the couch and have a party. So that's what we were trying to accomplish. And yeah, so now I'll hand it to Aisha to show it to you. At any time, if you have questions, please raise your hand. And so at this point, we're not gonna let you log in, but we will take you through a process of onboarding and we'll all log in together next week. All right, over to
Okay,
you.
thank you, Mina. So what I'm showing you right now is the community intranet landing page, which is the URL is community.tjtsac.org. So this is going to be the first thing that people see when they come into the site. At the top, we created an onboarding page so that if we click on it, we will direct people to these are the 3 quick steps to get started. So we created this as well and think about what kind of activity that we want people to do and what kind of information that we want people to complete. Uh, just briefly, so we thought about the steps once people signing up, and then this is going to be the first page that they see, and then going back to the home page. All right, scrolling down. The idea of this community intranet is that we want to encourage discussion between the regionals and with the nationals as well. So then at the top over here, when content start to get in, these are going to be the discussion posts over here. So it's going to be based on the popular content and the most recent content. And I will demo you how people create content, so then you will see how it pops up over there as well. And then these are, we call it the open discussion space. So currently we create 5 discussion space, which is about upcoming events and training, sharing tools and resources, challenges and pain points, brand related discussion, and sharing success stories. And then I will show you as well what is the inside of each of these. Now going down, this is where we want to show people that these are the organizations that is on the platform. So say if we click on it, people could just have a browse and people could just search. So for example, if we want to search Atma Connect, people can click on that. So yeah, the name of organization can easily be a search in here. And this is I've got to say this is like the cool part because this is the regional space. So of the whether it's national ISC, national ICMA, national NIHB, and then also for example we act region 2. So if we click on it, so the idea of this page is people can see which organization is part of this regional. And then, so this is going to be part of the onboarding as well. And this is the list. So all of the organization that I showed you, and then all of this organization within the regional, this is part of something that we've been uploading in past few weeks, using the data from the symposium profile, and then also looking at the EPA list. So some of the data which is not on the symposium PDF, we try to Google it as well. But yeah, we will talk about it later on how to make sure that we got the correct information. Um, so yeah, it's now under here, these are going to be a list of people who recently signed up. And then if you signed in, you can just direct message them as well. Now what I want to show you is this is the list of all of the signed up people. And so what we can do is we can filter people based on which regional that they belong to. So say, because right now it happened to be APMA team, so we are part of ISC National, so there we are. But when there are more people, we can do multiple selection as well. And also we can filter people based on the expertise, which this 37 expertise list is based on the TCTAC expertise list that was shared for the organization. So we're using the same list for people. So yeah, we will ask people to complete their profile based on to fill this as well. Okay, so I want to show you the right. So this is the to onboarding article that I showed you before. And now I want to show you my experience as a signed-in user and to give a little bit of idea as well what we expect people to do once they're on the platform. So people can sign up either through email or through their social login, which at this point we enable Google login. And then so I want to sign in. Okay. All right. So this is me signing in, and because at this point there is no post yet, that's why the feed is empty. But once people start to create posts, this is going. Once people signed up before and then they go back to platform, this is going to be the list of posts that they will see based on the discussion that they joined. And then also they will be able to see the leaderboard over here, which is the list of who is most active in the whole platform based on what they post or whether they reply to people or whether they like people or give reactions to people and posts. So I want to show when people sign up, this is what we expect them to do. So we want to make sure that they complete their profile. So that means put their tagline, what their position is, and then choose which TCTAC that they belong to based on this list, and they can select multiple as well. And then also show what their expertise is, which they can also select multiple lists. And then they update it. And then from here, we'll get people to go to the organization list and then look for. So the idea is we want people to join their organization, and the reason is because we want everyone else to be able to see once they are on that organization page, they will be able to see who are the staff on that organization. So for example, because I'm already part of Atma Connect and then I already joined the organization, that's why you will be able to see that I'm part of this. But for other people, for example, if they are not part of the organization yet, this is what they will see. So they could just easily click on the join button, and then once they click on it, their face will be shown on these people in organization list. And then, as you can see on each of the organization on the right hand side over here, this is an information of this organization is part of national ISC, and well, specifically for ISC, it's also part of the region one. So people can easily click on this. And then that's what, as someone who just signed up, that's what I expect people to do as well, which is to go to this list to see their own national page. And then so people can join this discussion space, which is a private space, meaning when people go to here, they can only add discussion if they are part of this group. And this is the same for all of the regionals. So if we go to, we also put the menu of the TCTAC at the top over here. So these are all the regionals. So then when people is part of the NJ Science and Technology University, for example, we want them to join this internal discussion over here. So then they can have discussion with each other who are part of this Regency Inter-American. Now, other from this discussion space, we also have the open discussions that I mentioned to you before. So right now we have these five, and we are open for people to give feedback as well. So at the bottom here, as you can see, and we put it both in here and on the homepage, that if you want to suggest a new open space, then please let us know. So for example, in the upcoming events and training, this is where everyone can share your dates of new events. And then also they can have a discussion about what kind of event that they want. And then for any content that people post, we will enable people to select filters based on the topic and actually also based on the type of content. And I will show you on another space. But to give an idea, I hope you can see this. This is not too small. But yeah, we have 9 topics right now, from identifying and finding opportunities to environmental issues. And so another post type, discussion space type would be, for example, the sharing tools and resources. So here, there will be, whether it's a toolbox or whether it's training material or data analysis. So I'm gonna, to give you an idea, I'm gonna try to create a post. So once people go to any of these discussion space, they could just add new post and then say my first post as an example. And then, so I want to show you copying things with links. So for example, so I copied it from a body text that already has a URL and it's still there, the link. And then I also want to add a YouTube video. And then it will show up there. And then this is not ideal to have all of it in one post, but just to give you an idea. I also want to add an attachment. So we enable people actually to upload files, and we can enable it up until 500 megabytes for people to upload file. But at this point, we limit it to 100 just so that it's not too heavy. So what we can recommend people is to upload it to Google Drive instead. And then they could add the link, because once they add the link, this is what will be shown, because I just added the link, and when it's posted as well, you will see how people can interact with it directly. And so other than this, I want to say we can mention people. So I can mention Nina, I can mention Ren. And then, yeah, so these are the tags that I was talking about. So for example, I think this is toolbox and it's data analysis, and the topic would be for outreach. And so yeah, let me publish it. And so this is how it looks like on the post itself. I could just play it directly in here. Oh, but the voice is gonna come out, I think. Okay. Then These are the people that I mentioned. And then these were the sheet that I linked. And I could click on the tab as well in here directly. So this is on the post detail. So if I go to the discussion space where I posted this, so this is what people will see, and then they could filter this based on, because I tag this as outreach to communities. So if I tag it, and then it will show all of the posts that has that tagging. Were all the posts that we had before that has outreach to communities as a topic. And yeah, people can also filter things from here. So because mine was toolbox, so that's why it's there. And mine was not expert, so it doesn't show. And so, okay. I want to show you if I go to my feed and in everybody else's feed as well, this will show up. And then, other than that, this will also show up on the homepage. So that's why when as content are coming in, this will be shown. Yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. One more thing. Messaging. So we can message people. Either it's from, well, because I happen to already message Mina before, but we can, for example, go to this list of people and just click on whoever that you want to message. And then just say, yeah. And also because I mentioned Ren and Mina on the post before, so that should be that should be shown on the notification, which is on email, and also on this platform for both of them. I guess that's all.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Really, yeah, I'm just loving it. So yeah, any thoughts, reactions, questions? Oh yes, Esther.
Yeah, thank you, Aisha, for walking us through this. This is phenomenal. I love how we're starting to think about a platform that brings the network together. I do have a few questions here. When you are thinking through organizations, are the organizations that you list there the partners of the TCTACs? Yes, they're all the partners and they're going to be listed there.
Yes,
yes.
So this is all taken from EPA's website announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all unified, and we'll tell you about the information that we're still. So there are about 160 partners in total of the EPA, and all of them are.
Yes. So to give more detail on that, Esther. So on each of these, if we click on this, the one at the top would be the awardee based on the EPA list on the table. So the top one is the awardee, and everyone else below that are the partners.
The partners within. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. And for that, in that page that you see there, maybe we can add as well an updated work plan for each of the TCTACs as well, so that people can, any other TCTAC can reference, can know what Deep South Center is doing within its page. And it's an ask that we could make of them at the convening for this platform to see if that would be useful to have that information for everyone to check on each other's work plan and ask questions if there's something that they like from their work plan they'd like to adopt, for example. Another question that I had is on the messaging. So we had individual messages to people within organizations. Is there a way to message the entire network where we don't have to do a post, necessarily a post, but just send out a reminder, or would love to connect with someone who's doing this or something like that?
Yeah, there is that functionality that we had before. So in, for example, let's say ISC national page or ICMA national page, there's functionality that we can add that would, kind of enable Q&A on that
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
Yeah,
So initially, sorry, Mina, but Esther, I love that input because actually, in our previous version of designing this, yes, we had this section called public announcement. We had this section for Q&A on each of the regional page. But the reason right now, so work plan can be part of that as well. But the reason why we don't have that for the rollout is because we want to make sure that we want to keep it very simple, so then it's more about people interacting with each other first, and then we can have the small rollout afterward. And it's going to be like, that's why we want to have conversation as well, actually, with the regionals during the event, as in this is what definitely is going to be useful for them right now, and then what kind of other feature that you want. But yeah, I love that input. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
and I
for
think that's a great point. Presenting it in that way during the symposium will let them know that you're thinking about expanding the tool, because this is something that they've raised up. How can they, blast something out to the network so that you're thinking about integrating later on? It's good. Sorry to cut you off.
thank you.
yeah,
Well,
no,
And
for
then you're
the messaging one, the messaging one, currently it's open for a one-on-one private messaging, but that's why for group messaging we put it more in the, because we can have a private group and invite only group as well. And if that is needed, that's what what we're gonna provide to them when needed for a more than one-on-one messaging.
okay. So depending on, if that's something that they'd like to see, you are open to. All right. And that
Yes,
you're going to present that
definitely.
at the symposium as well. Wonderful. Great.
it
Yes.
depends on
And
how much time we have. I think that right now there's about 15 minutes, so I think that we're going to do what we can at the symposium, and certainly a lot of, exciting conversations, but we'll probably
mhm.
go all out.
Yeah. And then for scheduling meetings, so one of the things that I've heard from the regional TICTACs is that they would like to schedule a meeting, like say, hey, I am really good at have a really good intake process that I'd like to share with the network. Can I use this platform to say from tomorrow from 2 to 1 to 2, I'll be talking about my intake process. Anyone welcome to join? Is there that feature and functionality within the platform where they can do that?
Yeah, that would be in the sharing events and trainings. So some of those things might just be internal to the TikToks that you're like, everyone, all 160 organizations. Here's an event. I know you're talking about kind of a smaller workshop, but it's the same, that you can add to this and say everyone's welcome. There's also the opportunity to post general public events. And so you see this collaboration platform, and ultimately there are aspects of this that'll be feeding the website and the public events that are on the website. And there's going to be a human interface to decide which ones of these are going to go on the public website. And then there will also be ways in which things that are crowdsourced here are going to become part of a global public knowledge repository. So there are ways that all of these systems will be linked in terms of architecture and also sourcing. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Craig?
Thank you, Mina. Really great job displaying this. I feel like it looks great, and I'm really excited to get my hands on it. I had some low-hanging fruit questions. So, in terms of usability on the login page, were there any thoughts about including like a little checkbox for people to show their password as they're typing it out? I'm thinking that that might help with some folks, like as a way of helping them not have to go through the process of like resetting their password. If they just like can see what they're typing out, that might help out with them a lot. Um,
Yeah, there is. I'm trying to think. If there, usually you have like an I with an X or not, and we'll see about that. The other thing that we might do, okay, one thing that's great about this is there's sort of like cache, login cache kind of thing. So what I've noticed about this is like once you log in, if you come back to community.ej, one thing that we have enabled here is that if you come back, you're automatically logged in as long as it's the same computer and et cetera. So that's good. And we can make that quite long. So like 30 days or 60 days that you're just always in. I myself reset my password a few times. It's like quite easy to do. And we could also kind of like do a little bit of one onboarding page or something saying, if you have the option on, your browser to save your password, you could do that. Different options as it comes up. But that's
Great.
something.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And then the other thing I was wondering is, so for when a logged in user joins a group, like if I'm logging in for the first time and I'm joining IFC as a group, does an administrator of the group need to approve that person joining? And then along with that, what would the process be like for people being removed from that group as well too, with like employment shifts and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're going to get into the details of this in the next section when we talk about kind of some um, additional sort of institutional support that we need. And right now, we are keeping it open so people can join ISC. So I could join ISC. And then what we want to do is then compare this to a master list where ISC says, here are all the emails of the folks that are going to be on the collaboration platform. And then there's an administrator privilege that we have and that we'll share with ISC where we are going to be able to remove people or, put people in the right places.
And to add more to that, so we have two options actually to do this. The first one is to do it like now, as in make it private, but actually once people click on it, they basically can see what's inside on the discussion. And the second option is to make it invite only. And ideally, we should do the latter. But for the initial onboarding, because we will have a lot of people coming in, that's why we keep it open right now. But I think eventually, just to make it private, really private, we should shift eventually to the invite only. But yeah, I love that you bring that up. Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and just to sort of like, what Aisha's talking about is that there's this right now, but this platform is going to always be evolving, and so there's a certain way it's going to look for the rollout, and then additional functionality and increased privacy and things like that that's going to continue to happen.